Welcome back, guys. We are concluding the coursework. We're just going to wrap it up now. So what the academy was trying to do, the whole point is to increase your baseball IQ. Yeah, we always want to go over mechanics. Okay, mechanics, but it's not just having the physical tools to be good at this game. You could have all the greatest physical tools, but you don't know how to fix it and adjust. Okay, so the whole basis is giving you some fixes, knowing how to fix some things to make your swing a little bit better, to increase your infield work. So you know exactly what you're doing while you work, so when you train, when you get out into the game, it's easy because you train the correct way. Some things that you need to look out for to be able to train better. Okay. So when you're doing the physical stuff, you gotta be smart about it. And then you're eventually gonna get to that point where, it all makes sense. Your body, you feel the adjustment that you need to make right then, right there. Okay. So the whole point of that is to get you all to the point, because you guys are your best coach. Okay. And I heard that from one of my coaches saying that I'm my best coach. Okay. What that means is that you know your body, you know your swing. So once you get to that point where you know those adjustments that you need to make, if you feel something off, you fix it right then and right there. Okay. Without having to think too much about it. Okay, if you haven't gotten enough reps at it, you need to make sure that you're getting enough reps at it. And it's not about, hey, I got the excuse of, the facility time. They didn't have any available spots, so I can't go today and work. The weight room was closed, so I couldn't go lift and get stronger today. Or the holidays, I just want to relax. I want to play my video games, take a break from school. That's fine and dandy. If you have that kind of mindset, this game is not for you, because I'm telling you right now, this game will eat you up and spit you out if you get any kind of laziness. You got to train this game year round. We have snowstorms coming in Ohio every single Sunday this year, which is something I haven't seen in a while. But if I want to get better at this game, I'm going to make sure, I find a facility that I can train at. Okay, make sure, I can get cage time. If I can't, I'm going to do stuff at home, do some dry work, do some workouts. Okay, if you don't have any kind of equipment, and you want to work out, like, go lift weights, and you don't have access to the weights unless it's like at your high school or maybe Planet Fitness or somewhere, but maybe they're closed that day, but you really need to get that work in, you do it at home. You adjust your workout. If you can't go do your bench press, do some push-ups. Okay, if you can't get on the squat rack, you're doing squats at home. Okay, with your body weight, you just increase your reps, you modify it. Okay? There's no room for any kind of excuse in this game, because if you're an excuse maker, this game will seek you out and expose you. Okay? If you're the one making the excuses, if you're getting after it, this game will treat you right. And I'm telling you right there, and it's no fluke that does happen. Your true character gets exposed. Okay, so real quick, this video is only going to be about 15-20 minutes. We're going to recap. Okay? We're going to go through each lesson, just give some key pointers. And remember how I said no cards? Well, I'm going to go through all the note cards that I developed with the mechanics and the stuff I wanted to teach for you. We're not going to go over every single point, because you really don't have an excuse right now. You bought my program, correct? It's right there in your hands. Go back and review it. Okay, don't be like, oh, finally, 30 plus days, 60 plus days of doing this. Finally I got to the last course and I'm done. You're not done. Okay, and I'm surely not done. All right, because we're going to continue after this. Your job is to think of your questions, write them down. If something pops up, you write it down, you put it in the Facebook group, and I'll do my best to answer every single one of your questions. Okay, your learning is not done after you click out of this. Okay, your learning is not done. Okay, you need to watch baseball, you need to study baseball, you need to practice it. Practice, practice, practice. Okay? So, one thing I want to re-emphasize. Get your note cards, okay? If you don't have a laminator, go get a laminator or find a place that has a laminator. Get it laminated and put them in your back pocket. Make one, get like a bigger note card. I mean, these are the smaller note cards, okay? They sell them a little bit bigger and they will fit in your back pocket. Now, I have one and it will fit, okay? Make sure you get it and put it in your back pocket. If you can't seem to find anywhere with a laminator or access to get a laminator, just create the note card just like this, okay? Just like this, and you put it in your bag, okay? Or you keep your notebook, okay? So before I started these courses, I bought this notebook. Awesome notebook, by the way. It's got the little pen thing. Okay, 5 subject. It's got the little dividers. Okay, so I broke it up into sessions. I kind of wrote up my outlines between starter and prime. Then my next outline was each individual one, going over every single points that I wanted for every single lesson that I had. And then prime is in another one behind this blue one, as you see all the note cards in a little folder. That's what's cool about this notebook. It's got little folders. Okay, I would not suggest you having something this big to take the games. If you want to, that's fine. But this notebook is absolutely awesome. Made by 5 Star. And awesome notebook to keep you organized. I mean, they did all the work for you. It's maybe $10-15, but I mean, you get how many sheets? 200 sheets in here. So I mean, that breaks down between 5. I mean, roughly, close to 50 sheets each divider. A little bit less. That's awesome. You can have all the notes that you want, and then you have access to it, during the games. Okay, because I would not suggest you busting out one of my videos during a game off your phone. Okay, have your notebook right there that you can access anytime, or your note cards. All right. So I can't preach the note card thing enough. Okay, you're having a notebook, having pen and paper. I mean, one of the best ways to learn is writing it down. Okay, you retain it just a little bit better. All right, so I encourage you, one, to go look through all the courses that you need to look through. If you want a little bit more hitting, you didn't quite understand it, you go back, you look at the hitting. Okay, I'm also giving you 5 days in between to be able to study it a little bit more, so you don't have to do as much going back. So if there was a point that you liked and you remembered it, but you need a little bit more, reinforcement on it, go back, find that point in the video, be like, oh, okay, now that makes sense. Now I'm going to go do it and train that. Okay? So you get 5 days. So, I mean, you can view the video for 5 days before we move on. Okay? And the thing is, you work at your own pace. You're not going to fall behind. If it's a little bit too much, because, I mean, we're covering hitting, pitching, infield, outfield. That's approaches, catching. A little bit out of order right there. Catching, approaches, base running. Also rest and recovery. Okay? If you're not a quick learner, work at your own pace. If you need to spend a little bit more time on hitting, but pitching just opened up and you're a pitcher, focus on the hitting first, okay? Then move on to the pitching once you get a good grasp on the hitting concepts. Then move on and put all your focus into the pitching. Okay, move at your own pace. Just because one opens doesn't mean you have to move on. Okay? So let's go over some of the key points. Okay, hitting. Get your grip in your hands correct. Okay? You don't need to be a knuckle aligner. You can be. I found it helpful, me personally. But do what works for you. Okay, your box setup. I'm just listing these off. Okay, your job is to go back and actually look at them and do it. But if you understood it and you got your notes down right then and there, typically you're not going to need to really go back and do too much review on this. I mean, this is yours forever. Okay? I mean, unless you cancel before the 30-day mark, I mean, you wouldn't even be seeing this. Then you would lose access to the program. Actually, no. My promise is you keep the program even if you're unhappy. Okay? But it's got to be before or at that 30-day mark. Anything after, you know, you got this. I mean, no matter what, you got this program forever. You know, whether you were unhappy or not. Okay, so back to hitting. Grip in hands. Your box setup. Your legs and feet, so within your stance and then your stance. So when you're striding, your legs and feet are in a straight line, striding toward the pitcher. Lead. That's poor handwriting. I'll come back to that when I figure out what that is. Oh no, load. Sorry, it was poor hitting. So what are you doing with your load? Remember, you don't need to take your hands back. You use that back leg to stride, take yourself forward, keep your hands there, and guess what? They end up back there because you took your body to your hands. Okay? Your head is not moving. Okay? Only when you track. Okay? If you're getting up and down movement, okay, you need to adjust your stance, your body, so you can prevent your head from going up and down, because that means you're going to lose track of where the ball's at. Alright? So virtually it's just tracking. Okay? Tracking. If you're going up and down, you're losing vision of the ball. Oh, and that's one thing I forgot. My son is in these lesson recap videos. I mean, he's just on his tablet. You know, one thing that he enjoys doing. I mean, he is very limited on his tablet. You know, it's just one way to keep him just a tad bit quieter while I give you your content. Okay. Everything's in a straight line. Your timing. The Pete Rose approach, you know, that goes back to the box setup, knowing the pitcher. Contact point. Your head needs to be behind the ball, see the ball off the bat. And of course, bunting. Okay. Learn how to bunt. Okay, you add that into your game, your batting averages. If you love seeing a high batting average, you're going to see a higher batting average if you learn to get a bunt down for a hit. Alright? And all the drills are listed there. I mean, the biggest thing is visualization, working in a straight line, and doing dry work. And you can do your dry work on that straight line. You can do a whole bunch of drills with a straight line. Okay, you can get a tee if you got a net. You got the space to do it. Okay? And also, before you do any kind of training, you need to do a proper warm-up. Okay, do the dynamic warm-up. Do some stretches. Make sure you're fully ready to go before you do any of this. Okay? And that includes every aspect between infield, hitting, pitching. Get loose. Okay? There's no point in training dumb. You want to train smarter, so you want to make sure you do the warm-up and you're good to go. There's no point in getting injured before, I mean, injuries happen in a game, but that's, I mean, a lot of times it's just a fluke. Okay? I tore my ACL, that's a fluke. I mean, it's not that I wasn't stretched out properly. I wasn't warmed up, ready to go. I mean, I was good to go. That happens. Okay? But it's the injuries that you can prevent because you failed to stretch and do your dynamic and take pride in that. Okay? We want to avoid that. Okay, so pitching. You got your balance point. Remember, balance point, you're not actually balancing. You got a little bit of a lean, okay? Because you want to create that momentum going home. There's no point in getting to a straight on balance point and then having to get your momentum going again. That's wasted movement. Okay? Hips, shoulders closed are at landing point. Okay? Your land foot, typically you want to keep it closed a little bit, more so like at a 45-degree angle, between catcher and the third base side. So if you look at a clock, you're landing and pointing your toe if you're a righty at 3 o'clock, if you're a lefty at 10 o'clock. Okay? Your release point, doesn't matter what pitch you're throwing. I mean, you could be throwing your curveball. A lot of times we think, oh, we got to throw it higher so then it drops and gets in the zone. No, get it out in front. Because the last point is your eyes, where you're looking, is going to determine whether you throw that pitch for a strike or not at that same release point. Remember to get a good extension out in front. And then afterward, you follow through. You follow through on the outside part of the leg. Alright, the gun barrel, making sure your shoulders, your hips are all going in that straight line. You're pretty much looking, engaging your eyes down your target. Okay, and that's using your shoulders, keeping them straight, and that helps to keep them in line a little bit longer. Okay? And like for hitting and pitching, if you ever find that you're opening up or you're closing yourself off too much, you place an item right there to get you on that straight line and train. Because I mean, when you know that's there, I mean, you don't want to step into it. You don't want to get hurt, so you're gonna do it right. If a bucket's too much because it's, too much of risk entry. Okay, one thing, never use a ball. Okay, because if you accidentally step on it, you're twisting an ankle. Okay, I would suggest maybe using a hat, maybe using the bucket, maybe a base. Okay, anything like that. Same thing. Okay, with the drills at home, you're doing dry work, straight line, towel drill, the follow through drill. You pretend that there's $100 bill, or you put $100 bill if your dad or mom lets you borrow $100 bill. Or if you go out and earn it yourself, you get $100 bill, you practice, boom, picking it up on your follow through. Okay, infield fundamentals. We went over creeping, your creep step. Okay, your hands out in front in your fielding position. Okay, making sure that you're ready. Okay, when you go to field the ball, that you are low, you sink your butt. Okay, you track the ball to the glove. Okay, just like hitting, you want to track it. You want to see the ball hit the barrel. Okay, you see it all the way into the glove. Okay, I know I was one of them, that you kind of chance it because you don't want that ball taking a bounce and then hitting you in the face, so you kind of react and your head comes up. Okay, you want to track that ball all the way in. You get around it, it's just basically one step. Your banana route is short. Okay, it's not a big old loop. Okay, it's a one step. You're around the ball, you work through it. Okay, forehand, backhand positioning, and how to receive the cut from the outfield. Okay, and just go over those drills. They're all listed there for you. Make sure you watch the Jimmy Rollins video. You got outfield basics. Go over those videos. It's very difficult to do it inside, but I provided those drills that you can work on your own to be able to work your first step, to be able to work through and get your crow hop on those ground balls coming in, that you can work a good through and get a good strong throw off. Okay. Basics of catching, just like outfield. Well, it's not like outfield. I could show it with my knee, but catching, I could not. Okay, I can't get down in that position, to show you a good strong position. It's too much strain on my knee. It's just a very awkward position getting in a crouch. So, the videos are showing a good stance, the glove arm. Okay, remember that it's nice and relaxed, and you let the ball come to you. You don't go get it. Okay, if you go get it, you're chancing yourself getting catcher's interference, and then they get first. Okay, and technically they get a base hit in the book. Okay, it's a mental error, but it doesn't go down as a physical error, against the team. So you want to make sure that you're close, to in your setup to the hitter, but you're keeping that arm in a nice relaxed position. Also, this helps to prevent the ball from taking you. You get the ball, you're strong with it on your receive when you receive it. Okay, receiving, blocking the ball, take pride in it. I don't care if it's warm-up pitches. You block everything. Okay, block everything, because if you get lazy in your warm-ups, it feeds off to everybody else as well. And if you get lazy in your warm-ups, I mean, how can I expect you to block that ball with a guy on third, 2 outs, tie ball game, or we're up by 1? We need 1 out. Ball goes in the dirt. You don't go down and block it, or you were lazy, and that run comes in. Okay, you either got a tie ball game or the game's over. Okay, so take pride in it. And also your footwork and your stance on your throws. Okay, the stance doesn't really change a whole lot. Okay, but your footwork, how you're transferring your foot, your back foot going toward your lead foot. Okay, so go back and review all those videos, and I mean, those drills you can do on your own with or without a thrower. Okay, so your approaches. First, you got to have the mindset of playing hard, like it's the last game that you're ever going to play. Okay, get dirty, get after it. Play like you really want to be out there. Okay, and you take pride in it. If you lose, you're going to lose and be a good sport about it, but you're not going to be happy about the result, and that you're going to strive for more. You want to win. You want to clean up those little itty-bitty mistakes that not necessarily you made, but we made as a team as a whole, to be able to win that game. Free of failure. Accept your failures. Also, one thing, don't be too hard on yourself. I mean, you want to be able to go back and review, have that expectation, but you want to carry that expectation to be able to fix it in the proper way. Okay, if you're too hard on yourself, you're going to start forcing it, and then the fixes are going to take much longer to occur. But if you go after it with a positive mentality, like, hey, we need to get after it, we need to fix this and this, so we need to work on this, get it done. Okay, and those fixes typically get fixed more quickly than being super hard on yourself and being super hard on the other person. Okay, accept failures. You're going to have obstacles. You play this game free of failure. Okay, so the hitting approach, you got to hunt the fastball. Okay, don't fear the 2-strike approach. Okay, don't fear 2-strike situations. When you get to 2 strikes, you go into your 2-strike approach, whether it's the 2-2-2 or you're sitting back and you're going to drive that ball middle away. Okay, and then really get into the quality at bats. Okay, hit is not your only way to have a successful at bat. Okay, pitching, you're facing 3, you sit down 3. Okay, 3 pitches, you're getting ahead of them. Okay, you're throwing first pitch strikes. Okay, advantage counts. That's in your first 3 pitches, you're getting ahead 1-2, 0-2. Okay, even if it's 0-0 and he swings, puts it in play, he grounds out, gets a base hit, guess what? That's still an advantage count. And he just made some noise. But guess what? That's an obstacle. But he typically... Oh, he wants to know what's that. Say hi, Rylan. Hi. He says, hi, Rylan. What's that? Not really sure. That looks like wind, just like we got outside right now. Okay, so back to pitchers. You pitch to contact, not Ks. So you're going to let the strikeouts happen. Okay, but your job is to get outs. So you're going to pitch to contact. You're not going to try getting swings and misses. That will drive up your pitch count. Just let the strikeouts happen. Kind of like with hitting, you're not going up looking for a walk. You're going to let the walks happen. You're still going to be aggressive, but if you work the count to be 3-2, 3-1, whatever, you were aggressive that entire time. You could be down 0-2, work the count back to 3-2, and still draw a walk. But, I mean, it may take a couple extra pitches, and you may have fouled off a few. Okay, so let's see. Go on to infield. Okay, you always want the ball. This is infield and outfield. You always want the ball. If you make a mistake, you say, so what? Next one, you tell them, hey, I got it. Don't put your head down, you walk away, because that's showing your fear. No, show that confidence that you want the next one. You made a mistake, so what? I'm moving on to the next one. I want the ball. Okay, catcher, you are the grittiest guy out there. You are the ultimate communicator. You are the field general. You are one of the most important guys on the defense. You got to know everything. You got to know all the situations. You got to be able to read the hitters. You got to know first and third on what to call. If there's going to be a possible bunt, what to call. How to line up cuts. Infield, where they need to be going with the ball at all times. Everything. Okay? And you're communicating everything to everybody. Okay? You're the ultimate communicator. Okay? Even if your shortstop is not a big communicator, or your third baseman, or anybody else that's on your defense, you're going to be picking up that slack. Okay? And then this is super important. If you are on the bench currently, and you're not at that point to being an everyday player, you still got a job to do. You still need to stay ready to play. Okay? You need to be focused on the game at all times. So if you're sitting in there talking about video games or the TV show that was on last night, that you're not ready to play. Okay, what you're doing is you're staying loose. Every other inning, you're taking a jog down to right field, left field, coming back. The next inning, you're doing some stretching, some band work, swinging a bat. Okay, whatever works. Okay, show that you're ready. Do the little things. Foul ball gets hit, you go get it. Okay? You take pride in it. You go get the ball before the other team does. Okay? If you need to, you do the talking to your coach about your PT. And the question that you need to ask is, what do I need to do to get on the field? That's how you approach that with your coach. And your coach is going to respect it. And then he's going to tell you and give you the analysis on your game and the things that you may not be doing right now that you need to start doing to get yourself in the game. Okay? And then you take it, you run with it, you use it as your motivation, you work on those things in order to get on the field. Okay? Basics of base running. Okay, when you're digging out a ground ball, always hit the front part of the base. Okay, if you're hitting the middle part of the base, back part of the base, or stepping over, okay, that's your mistake. I mean, you could have a close play on that. The difference between being safe and out is where you're hitting the base. Okay, hit that front part of the base. Okay, when you're going to make a turn, you're hitting the inside corner of the base. And I saw this awesome video, kind of funny, because we're in the technology world. Okay, our phones are super important to us. Our tablets are super important to us. We got them on us at all times. Well, the coach got frustrated that they weren't hitting the inside part of the base, so he put all their phones on the base and only left the right part, the inside corner part of the base where they need to hit on there. So then they went through their drill to make sure they don't step on their phones. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to be able to do it right. Okay? We went over your leadoff. We went over secondary. Okay? Getting back. Your dirt ball reads. Steal and delay. How to steal off a lefty versus a righty. How to steal third from second. Okay, your leadoff from second. There's also a video provided. There's two ways to get your lead. There's one way that I teach and the way I do it. And then there's, the other way. Okay, pretty much a basic lead coming off of first base and getting your lead on second. Some guys teach that. Just do what your coach teaches and preaches, make them happy. Okay? And then your lead at third and tagging. And then even before that, there's the rest and recovery. If you don't have those tools, you can get them. If not, find a way to take care of your body. Okay. This game will beat you up. Okay. This game, you will have soreness. My apologies for that. This game will find a way to beat up your body. Okay, catchers, you really need to get a good recovery. Stop pulling this out. Put those headphones on. Okay. Catchers, pitchers, you need to get in a good recovery. Infield, outfield, same thing. You may be throwing less than those guys, but you still got to take care of your arms. Go through the bonus courses. I mean, the arm care is there for you. The how to long toss properly, also helps with your recovery time. And then I'm also adding in the proper throwing mechanics for those that are a little bit younger to get you to that level. I'm working on your mechanics along with what was the other one? So you the starter bonus, you got arm care, you got long toss. Oh, my opinion on that is my opinion, my viewpoint on showcases, because honestly, I feel a lot are out there that aren't good and they just want your money. Okay? When the best scenario is, instead of wasting your time on those, because the more expensive ones where you can really get are unaffordable, you got a cell phone, create game footage. Okay? Get it out to the college coaches. Do the communicating to the college coaches. Okay? Recruit yourself. Okay? I mean, you don't need a showcase. You don't need to be well recognized. Okay? You can do it yourself. All right? I mean, if you get invited to a PBR showcase, yeah, go ahead and do it. But I mean, you got to know, you got to do your research on those showcases to know, whether they are money hungry or if they're actually going to be beneficial. Okay. And of course, now he wants to do all this toward the end. Stop pulling that out. Make sure he doesn't do it again. He looks like he wants to. And then being prepared and ready. I mean, how are you getting out the car? Are you ready, dressed in your uniform? Is your shirt tucked in? Is your hat on forward? Do you have your hat? If you're a catcher, do you say you're the third catcher on the team? Do you have your catcher's gear in case you're needed? And bringing it all to the ball game. Bringing it all to practice. You never know when you're going to need it and when your name's going to get called for that opportunity, so be prepared for it. Okay? One good example is, okay, if you haven't watched American Underdog, it's about the Kurt Warner story and how he got to where he was. I mean, he ended up having a nice 12-year career. But yeah, he had to fight at the beginning. I mean, he got, originally coming out of college, he did get a chance with the Packers, but he was there for 2 days because the coach decided to give him a role, give him a chance, but he didn't want to go in because he didn't know the playbook quite then, right there. So he saw it as, you weren't prepared, you had your shot, and they cut him. They cut him that evening, later on that day. And then his journey became a little bit harder to get in there to be on the St. Louis Rams. And then when he finally got his opportunity, starting quarterback went down. He was ready for that moment. He won the Super Bowl in his very first year. Absolutely amazing story. So if you have a chance, view that movie. And then go through the throwing mechanics as well. And we're going to conclude this video. Make sure you go back, you formulate your note cards, formulate your notebooks, and keep studying. Keep getting better at this game. If you have any questions, always reach out. Okay, whether it's through my email, which is on my website, it should be within your members area, okay, in different spots. But go to my website if you need to. It's on there. Email me or go on the Facebook, leave a comment, leave a post, certain things that you may need answered. If you want to drop in comments about how you are thoroughly enjoying the program, go ahead, do so. Okay, I will highlight it. I will make sure you get your answers to you as quick as I can. Okay, bye for now. Keep studying.